just as a background, I'm a mechanical and precision engineer and IT. So I'm an engineer. And you can imagine the time when the internet was young. It was something around 2000 or something like that. It was really new. I did mechanical engineering and medical device stuff for a few years. And then I had the opportunity to start in a short, small startup called oneandone.com, just a few developers. And I started programming there. And suddenly the boss, the CEO of the one and one company, he heard that project management will solve all his problems. And he made me the head of project management office. And then the whole drama started. I tried to really bring the delivery online and the project, and it was very hard. So every year we had 25% more capacity, people around running, but the output stayed the same. And you can imagine, so in the first year, it's fun. In the second year, they say, oh, since we are doing project management now, well, it's not getting better. And in the third and the fourth year, it's called Wolfram Mueller is the reason why it's not working. So, and then we had really trouble. We sat every week together with a board and try to find the problem. We had 1,000 developers at this time already, and nothing worked at all. We really panicked. And that was a time when we knew that something's going wrong. And the interesting part is we bought the competitor then. We had suddenly twice as much developers and just 50% output. So you can imagine big drama. And we had no clue. And that time someone gave me the book. We already had an idea that we did some stupid things. And I read the book, The Goal, overnight, of course. Every good read is a night really read. And then we suddenly saw our problem. We built a constraint, and it was 4 people out of 1,000. 4 out of 1,000, they were the constraint. And suddenly everything was clear. Everything was clear. We knew what to do, how to get rid of the constraint very fast. The priorities were clear, and the success was unbreakable. So the next interesting question is, if you know you're constrained, then it's all about what to do. And I already said it was 4 out of 1,000 people. And interestingly, these were the long-term experienced guys who knew how to provision and how to build the products we built. So we built products massively, but there was no one who brought it to the databases so it can be built and provisioned. And it was just 4 people. And then it's very clear, Oh, 4 people, that makes no sense. So we asked around and asked for who's interested in learning about this stuff. We put the 4, 6 people beside them. They immediately learned how to do the stuff. And of course, we shielded the people around this constraint. They got everything, even we had a buy service, so they didn't have to buy something. So they were completely shielded by the environment. They just got quality papers before. So everything was prepared. They were simply able to work. And you can imagine within a few weeks, the constraint was more or less solved. So that a classical approach, like in the book, fixed the constraint fast. But that was just 1/3 of the story. So the problem still stayed, that there are a few people who have to know how the company built. And so after really removing the bottleneck, we really thought about how to reorganize the architecture of the company. So how to decouple the billing stuff from the provisioning stuff. And we had very good enterprise architects, and they thought for half a year about a solution, and they found a very nice one, TOC compliant idea, how to fix a constraint. And then it took us 5 years to really step by step change all the systems. And now so it's an agile architecture now. So you easily can plug in new products and stuff like this. So the constraint as such is not the constraint anymore. And you can imagine immediately the constraint jumped to the market. And now, and after this, all strategy was about finding new markets and stuff like this. So that was the second thing. And then, of course, we applied critical chain. And the critical chain stuff that is also addressing a constraint, the constraint of the management attention. So before the managers, top managers, 4 days a week, they had problems with escalation. And after applying critical chain very successfully, by the way, they had not to do anything anymore with operational decision stuff. It was self-organizing. And then they had the time to really think about strategy, new markets. As I mentioned the question before, that it was a breakthrough, of course. If you do all this constraint stuff, you will get another company. But I still have the first situations in mind when we installed TUC and especially critical chain. And one of the employees came to me and said, "Hey, Wolfram, thanks a lot. It's unbelievable. But now we can finally work again." And then I say, "Oh, what? You can work all the time." No. But this now we feel that we can do something right, deliver, and be proud of it. And you really saw the sparkling in the eyes of the employee. And then I looked around and I saw that something changed in the people. And you can even hear it. Before, there was a lot of noise, discussion and meeting and stuff. And it was really noisy somehow. And after implementing TUC CCPM, the noise level went down and the sparkling came back and the creativity. And if you ask me now, this is what drives me today to help more and more people to get this feeling. And the same on the company level, huh? All the priority discussions faded away. The focus on strategy comes back. Now they were able to talk about strategy. Without constraint, you can't talk about strategy because you don't know what to talk about. And in the end, the results are, and maybe you see it in my background, these X factors that are companies, they reached a lot of more throughput, and then you can do a lot of fancy stuff. But for me, the most important is the people and bringing back the creativity and the sparkling and the fun back to work. So I know Efrat and Rami, but I never met Eli. So, and I really thought about this question. I had the question before, and the final constraint of us humans is time. So we are limited in time. So I would simply say to Eli, "Hey, thank you. Thank you for all the fun." And maybe the second sentence would be the fun part. So since I know about the TUC, my personal life changed, of course. I'm allowed to work with different companies and different people. And it's so much fun to see companies come alive and people come alive. So I would say thank you, Eli, for all this stuff and for all the fun I have in my life now.